think about the song, by the way? It's okay. If you don't like it, it's fine. It's not for everyone.
Shidduchim podcast.
Yes, Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, episode 39, everyone. Siblings' effects on dating. And we have a very special guest here, Ahuva Shandelman. Holy Shid, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
I kicked the desk there. And Rosie's back with us. Rosie, thank you for making the trip out, Rosie. Really appreciate it. Even though I came to you this time.
Debatable.
So siblings' effects in dating. I know there's so much to say right now. We're going to get to it. We have a whole plethora of topics on this episode. The negative effects, the positive effects. We have a fun lightning round, and we're going to get so much information, knowledge, and punchlines from Holy Shid, Ahuva Shandelman when we come back.
No pressure.
And now we're going to pretend like, we're pausing and going on a break. Anyway. Okay. So, because now we usually play like an advertisement. That's why. Okay. All right. We're back. Episode 39. Siblings' effects on dating. It's funny. It literally, when I was doing this, and just very apropos to the situation, I was remembering like several years ago when there was a political candidate. I won't mention his name, Marco Rubio. And I was on the Rubio train at the time. And his campaign like started, and he was running. And he starts like, oh, we're going to change America. And he said, I want you to know, the establishment told me I have to wait my turn. And I was thinking when he said that, like, wait my turn. Where have I heard that before? I'm like, oh, yeah, with all my sisters when they when they were shidduch dating and I was shidduch dating. Like, you have to wait your turn, IJ, okay? You can't just get married before all of us. I think that's the first thing that comes to people's minds when you think about siblings. Waiting your turn, what's the process with that? That's absolutely something I'd love to discuss with you ladies. We also have the actual involvement of your siblings. To what extent are they allowed to be involved? Is it better that they're not at all? Or some people need it. I have friends who their parents are just totally checked out. The rabbi's locked up. They can only go to their older siblings for this. And some other things here and there. Let's get to the openings. So, who wants to go first? Is there anyone, First thoughts, Rosie, on siblings, okay? What do you have to say when I say siblings in Shidduchim?
Well, so I have two older brothers, and I feel like as their younger sister, they came to me more like, hey, she did this or she said this, versus, let's say, going to my mother, who would totally different age group and bracket and thought process. It was easier for them to relate to me because I was more, again, like in their age bracket, and also I was dating at the same time as they were. So we were kind of on the same page here. So I think that was like a positive for them, where they'd be like, hey, is this weird that she did that? Or I'd be like, no, it's cool. Or I'd be like, no, watch out for that. That is a red flag there. And in regards to, waiting your time, they didn't have that because as a girl, you can go anytime. Well, in my family, I guess it's like that.
Are you prepped for that? Do they actually train you in Beis Yaakov or in a day school and yeshiva day school where they're like, everyone, we're going to do a class today on being prepared if your younger sister gets engaged before you?
Absolutely not. There's no such mention of anything. The only thing they mention is you go to school, you go to seminary, you get married the second your plane lands, you touch the floor, and you marry a Ben Torah. The end.
Sounds like the formula I followed, but okay.
Oh, yeah. We're doing great, IJ. Okay. We followed that.
Ahuva, okay. Now, your thoughts. Let's go.
Oh, siblings and shidduchim. My thoughts go to how when we imagine a match for ourselves, we don't just imagine a match for ourselves. We imagine them fitting in to the existing family dynamic. And I think that's when our siblings, I think that's when we go to our siblings and we just want to sort of make sure that they're cool with what's going on. Like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? I know my sister got married before me, and every guy I met, I sort of had in the back of my mind, like, oh, is he going to get along with my brother-in-law? Like, they need to vibe, you know, like we're growing the family. It's not just good enough that it's a match for me. I want them to be a match too. And that's like pretty crazy stuff. And I think this probably happens subconsciously for a lot of people, even if they don't realize. So when they're sharing with siblings, they might be looking for a clue that it's going to be a match for the whole family, not just for them.
I feel that too many girls are thinking that when too early. Why are they thinking of that? Why am I getting the idea that they're actually thinking of, will this guy fit into the family on the first or second date? Is that how it should be?
Because they are. And they're
100% thinking that.
Yeah. And they're not deciding to think that. They just do.
It's like, oh, you said you don't wear white? Ew. Oh, he doesn't wear white. Wait, my family wears white. What's going on? Is this going to be a match? And it's the stupidest thing that we pick up on. But like, and then we harp on it. We're
I'm
like,
wearing
no,
white socks. Does that count?
maybe it's white. It's something.
Oh my God, if you like different sports teams, like how is that going to work out?
Yes,
my
that's a big
gosh,
one.
yes,
It's a
yes.
big one. Or like even Shabbos foods. You're like, wait, you don't eat soup? My family's going to hate
Oh,
you.
yeah,
if
yeah,
they
yes.
hate you, then I hate you. I think it's a no already.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to work out because I don't eat Shabbos soup and I don't like sports. Like I'm just not going to be.
Don't
sitting
even
there.
bother dating.
No, I'm kidding. I like both, by the way. But that's a good. Wow, it's really
Match with
interesting.
IJ on Holy Shid. Hit me up.
Okay, fine, right. No, wait. I should actually tell you like really who I am. But no, that was just a joke. I really do like. I love Shabbos soup. I like when it comes from my mother. That's really the truth, you know.
Oh, fire your
Okay,
mom.
I love that. Okay, so family dynamic. I hear that. I think that when you're growing up, a certain age, probably when you're hitting puberty, you're looking around, you're seeing your siblings, maybe who they're dating, which ones you like, and you're getting an idea of like who you might want to end up with, right? It's starting to grow, or at the very least, you know who you don't want to end up with. Because, like, you might have that one sibling who you just can't stand, and you're thinking, like, oh, my God, if I ever end up with Chana Sorrel, like, my eldest sister who just no one likes but my father because she does everything, like, that's just going to be a nightmare. So, okay, so those are some of the negatives and positives or things like that, but we'll get to more. Let me ask you, does it change anything if your sibling is married or if they're not married? Does that change anything in terms of involving them in the shidduch at all? First thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's different for every person, right? So what I just said initially in terms of there being a brother-in-law, so that would change. If you don't have a brother-in-law, you're not thinking like, oh, is this guy going to like get along with my brother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking from a girl's perspective, obviously. If you have single siblings, I think it would depend on their age and stage. Like my sister right after me is 8 years younger than me. My sibling under me is 8 years. I don't think she was somebody I was going to be bouncing stuff off of. She was like peeking out the window as I left the house, like giggling, So
Was she was definitely like staring through the window.
Oh, for
like
sure.
the guy picked you up.
yeah, and I'd be like, oh, just turn back and wave a sec,
Rosie, was that your experience?
No. As I said, I was the youngest girl, so I didn't get to see the girls.
Well, you were the one.
No, my
peeking
brother went to
through.
pick them up. Where am I peeking through? The trunk?
The window.
My brother went to pick them up. They didn't come
Oh,
to
he
my
went
house.
to pick him up. Oh, no, but when they met your parents, no?
They went in a restaurant.
Ah,
I was
wow.
not privy
They
to that.
knew what to do. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing to say. There's
Can't
nothing
But
to
when I
look at.
actually met them, don't worry, there was a whole what's the word?
Let's see.
Not investigation. Okay.
like a screening process.
Check my word bank here.
Interrogation.
Interrogation,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Extraneous interrogation, yes. Interrogation.
But I have to say, it's like my siblings, and I think every single person changes when you get married, for the better or for the worse. It doesn't make a difference, but they change, they evolve, they grow, or they decline. So it does. My dynamics with my brothers changed when they got married. So one of them I grew closer to, and the other one I grew closer to his wife. So let's say if I have a question about dating, I won't necessarily go to him. I'll go to his wife about it. And then I can always like pop in and be like, hey, what do you think? Like, what would Ma or Ta think about this? Because he's still my brother, but I kind of go towards his wife. And the other one, I'll go straight to him. I'll be like, hey, you're my person on this one. What do you think?
Oh, I love that. Like, so you can actually get closer to your sibling even because of who they married.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You don't see changes in like people that get married?
Yeah, no, yeah. My relationships with my sister has gotten better Well, one's gotten better, one's gotten worse. The one who's a drinker and smoker like me, that's gotten awesome. The other one's like this, like legit start guy, and no, I'm kidding. Okay. Oh, what do you?
I'm just enjoying this too much.
No, seriously.
We're
One of my
enjoyable people.
one of my brothers, he was never funny. Literally, the day he got married, I'm like, what happened? When did you become funny? Like you open up.
You actually see
change.
a different side of them.
Yeah.
Because someone loves them. That's really what it is.
It's true. It gives them the confidence to totally embrace who they are because somebody loves that about them, and then they share it with the world.
Yeah, they could actually be who they are.
They're shining.
They're shine. I miss my dashboard here. I would like press buttons and stuff.
Thank God we don't have it.
So, so you mentioned that. Let me ask you, Holy Shid. I would say from my experience, I won't necessarily trust a sibling that is not married, and because I feel like in the back of their mind they might subconsciously just might not actually want me to get married before them or want the girl I'm seeing to get married before them. Is that the best trained set mindset to have? Like, do you really mean? If they're married, I trust them more. I say, you know what, you're married. I know you got your fulfilled life right now, and you probably want what's best for me. But something I always felt, and speaking to guys especially, we're like, well, I don't know if we really trust that other single person to tell us what to do, especially coming from a sibling. It could be a competition.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be true for friends too. When a friend's dating a girl, a guy's dating a girl, and it would be just so bad if he got engaged and then he lost that one. Of course, it just happened to you. So I'm a mind reader, by the way.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I think we tend to not trust single people to give us dating advice because we just don't know where they're at.
I disagree with that. IJ, are you not your friends' therapists, marriage counselors?
I am. Yes.
Children.
Unlicensed.
Yeah,
Unlicensed.
exactly. And telling them how to raise their children because that's
Okay,
what
that's
I all
opposite.
day.
That's married to single person.
So, but why am I the person giving advice if I'm not in a relationship, married, and I don't have kids? Because you
Ooh,
trust my
interesting.
advice.
Right, but do you see how the insecurity is not there? There's no insecurity in asking IJ his opinion. He's not going to have an ulterior motive why he wouldn't want the best for you.
I hear what you're saying.
Well, our relationship, yes. Rosie and I always want the best for you.
Same.
Just don't leave this podcast or it'll ruin your life.
Never.
Like
Unlike
some other people.
Exactly. You know who you are.
We won't mention. Misty. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So talk to me. What are some things you would recommend that you can talk to your siblings about when you're in the relationship? Okay, it's past a few dates. Okay, what can you talk about? What can you talk about with them?
I don't think there's rules about that.
Well, what would you recommend? What do you see most as
you don't have to
professional?
talk to your siblings at all if you don't want to. You could.
It comes up though.
Does it? I mean,
It comes
There's
up
nothing
because they
else to talk
trust
about.
you. It comes up if they want to talk about it.
Yes.
If they don't want to talk about it, there's nothing to talk about. Like, I'm dating
For
someone in
sure,
the end.
right? If it's not there, it's not there, and then this
Right.
does not really apply necessarily to you, or
Right.
you could apply it in other ways. But if they do want to, is there a danger level? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I like to discuss with my siblings, well, what kind of girls I've been going out with, and I'll tell them, and they'll say, okay, tell us a little bit about it, and I start saying, well, this kind of girl, and this is how, this is where she's coming from, and this is how she'll dress, and this is how she'll act. Oh, that girl's not for you. And I just get so infuriated. What do you know? So maybe sometimes it's not the best thing to talk to your siblings about certain things.
But did you
And
bring it
you're
up because you
dating.
want to hear that she's not for you, or you brought it up because you want to hear that she is for you? Because sometimes you bring things up
don't
just to hear someone else's opinion to tell you
That's
that.
true.
No.
I don't mind, hearing what they have to say. But also I do like to let them know that I'm busy and things are going on. I think that's the goal of having that conversation. But it also,
But then you wouldn't bring up those negative points or the things that you think they would say no to.
well, they'll ask me. They might just say, "Oh, well, why didn't it work out?" I'm like, "Well, maybe God didn't want it to." No, it couldn't be that. I'm your sibling. I know better than him.
It has to be our fault.
Yes, it's your fault or it's
We're
their fault.
single for a reason.
Oh gosh, is there anything that you can talk to them about? Avoid not talking to them about, specifically maybe when you're seeing them past the first, second date, when things are actually could go somewhere. there could be some harm. There could be some like, what do they say, remedy by bringing it up to them. Do you think so?
What type of remedy? By bringing it up to
like
them?
I just said, the remedy of maybe some kind of comment that it might linger in your mind. Like, oh, really? I don't see you with that kind of person.
Yeah, so I don't think this is like special about siblings. I think this happens with parents and friends. I don't know that like everything I'm hearing right this second about this to talk sibling to me. Like I've come home from dates and my mom will go like, yeah, a little too short, right? And I didn't even open my mouth yet. And maybe I had no problem with that. And now all of a sudden I'm thinking like, oh, was he? Right? So like I think when people are close to you, there's always that danger, and you have to really have a good sense of yourself and what you actually thought. I think there's a danger in talking to people about your dating life when they hijack your brain space about it. And it's not like, oh, well, how did you feel on the date? Did you enjoy? Did you have a good time? Like, did you, do you want to go out again? Do you want to see him? Instead of be like, they're putting their opinion on it. Like he was a little loud. No, I don't know. Oh, now that you mention it.
Right. I definitely hear what you're saying, but I think specifically with siblings and family, it's like, yeah, I have my best friends and I trust them, but there is this level of family that just like trumps it all. And even if you hate your brother today, there's still that like, I trust him because he knows me best. He knows me from the second I was born. He knows the childhood I experienced. He knows our parents. He knows our family dynamics. He knows what is good for me versus the things I put out to my friends because they're not privy to my everyday life, right? They weren't there with us growing up and experiencing all the things that we experienced together. So there is more of a level of trust when it comes to your siblings.
Yeah, I hear that, but there's also these like other investments that we spoke about earlier. Like, let me give you an example. This didn't happen with a sibling. This happened with a dad. But I think it's the same, point. So one of my shids was telling me that, she's been going with guys, and they just seem so mature, so young, so not getting it, so naive.
What? Never experienced that.
And then she finally went out with this guy and she felt like a connection for the first time in her dating life. And after 2 dates, her dad was like, no more. He's like, why? He's like, you deserve better. You can get better. This is not the guy for you. And she explained to me that she's like super close with her dad and she would like never do anything to make him unhappy. And like, that was it. And she wonders about that and even dating since, she's never felt that with a guy. So this is like the dangers of not understanding your family dynamic. Yeah. I said to her, energetically speaking, and this could happen with a brother too. Okay. Energetically speaking, your dad is taking up all the man space in your life right now. And that is why you're only getting read to boys.
You hear that, ladies out there?
For boys.
I agree with the holy shit right here.
A holy shit.
You're holy. I could not agree more. Because these young ladies today, they feel like they're getting taken care of at work, right? They're reporting to a boss. They have a man working for them. There's a lot of their life that's just kind of taken care of, and then they go home, and daddy's all so special, or the siblings, we're at siblings episode, their brother's just so good to them. I just went out with someone, and she was saying some interesting things. I was like, okay. I mentioned it to the shadchan, you know who, Mrs. Nymark, and she's like,
there's no one else.
There's no one else anymore now. No one else wants to deal with me. And no, someone else. I'm kidding. This other person said, oh, what did she say? This girl, yeah, sounds like she wants to marry her brother, but only the good, not the bad. So she'll just never get married. I'm like, yes. That's exactly how it sounded. So, So I feel like maybe people should ditch this, like this entitlement, not entitlement, but this demand that they have from their siblings, like this, that they have to just release all that information to them, or their parents, like you were saying, or their father. So you're saying girls should just ditch that. You really make yourself no relationship to a man because you need to find a guy out there and you have to save all that for him.
I think that's impossible.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I would say to make sure that you're...
Let me know when that happens. And then...
men hear things differently.
Yeah, I would say to make sure that your relationships are in healthy balance so that there's room for the people that you want to attract into your life. no, I think it's wonderful for girls to have a great, healthy relationship with their dad. I think it's great to have a protective dad that wants the best for you.
Yeah.
But if they're blocking the guy that you're looking for from coming into your life, he may be taking up too much space for you. If he could tell you after 2 dates with a guy that for the first time in your life you felt connected to, you could do better. He didn't check in with her. How's it going? How do you feel? What do you think about this? He cut it. I think he cut it because he thought it might be something. And he's her man. Again, subconscious, energetically speaking.
I know, yeah.
Another point about siblings and shidduchim is often when a girl is in shidduchim, she'll get rid of a guy, and the mom will go to the brothers and say, "Hey, you know this guy?" Right? And the brothers will be like, "No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No, not for you." They know them from 100 years ago. They know them from camp. They know them from
so
this. They
true.
know them from that. Like, the problem in shidduchim is that, like, everybody thinks that their sister, their brother, their daughter is God's gifts to the world.
We are.
And we are, but not in shidduchim. Because if you are looking for another God's gift, that means they're sparkly clean, never stepped out of line, never did parents are perfect, money, looks, everything is perfect. That person doesn't exist, and you're limiting your possibilities to like 0. You have to be willing to meet all different types of people from all different types of walks of life. And I think that siblings, because we like really want the best for each other, and who our sibling ends up with ends up reflecting on us. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
her
love it.
sister married that guy. Oh, yeah.
Makes
yeah.
sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
But that's going back to, like, especially in the beginning when your parents decide everything for you. It's like, okay, you're going on a date. You know, when you were like 19, you're like, okay, you're going on a date on Tuesday with this guy. You had no say in it. It's because they looked at the whole background and they looked at everything, and they're not open to, as you said, all walks of life. And they're not open to, one time he did this and you're, you know, the most precious angel baby has ever graced, you know, earth. So we're only going to look for perfection for you. So then, like, we kind of take that with ourselves as we grow older, and we're still like, no, we are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We are only looking for perfection, because that's like kind of what we were brought up with, or how we were pushed into the dating world. We're like, nobody's good enough for us. So it's, you have to kind of rethink the way that you're dating.
100%. So my neighbor has 10 kids. God bless her. She married all 4 of them. And she told me that before her oldest started dating, she asked a friend of hers who had married off a couple of kids, like, give me your best piece of advice as a mom, like with children entering shidduchim. And she said that mom told her, your kids aren't that special. And she said it was the best piece of advice she ever got. And her daughters married wonderful, amazing guys. They're not that special.
Ooh, I love it. Is it too late though? I feel like singles today are waking up and kind of realizing that in their late 20s, in their 30s, but not 21 to 25-year-old girls.
Because we don't have control over our dating life then. You don't. You're a little puppet.
That's mostly, yeah. I mean, till a certain age.
A very special puppet.
Exactly.
The best
A
puppet,
beautiful
yeah.
puppet.
The most beautiful.
With a lot to offer.
Only the best.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh, anything else, you ladies? Anything? I know you had a few things.
Oh, yeah. One thing that I texted to you is that Holy Shid, and my holies will know this already, sorry for the repeat, was created to try to find a match for my youngest sister. And we actually did find a match for her on Holy Shid.
Yeah, yes. I heard you on also the other podcast.
Yeah, Joy of Text.
When you quote unquote came out to the world.
I came out.
Your identity.
My identity. Yeah. So as a sibling, I'm like thinking about that. And the guy that she married is not somebody that would have ever been mentioned for her by anyone that knew the two of them. You know, she's like Muncie, regular, moderno-ish. He's like Heimish, Bar Park, doing his own thing. That would not have gotten through any channels that currently exist in the shidduch world.
I hear. Yeah.
And Holy Shid made that happen.
Nice. Good
So-
job.
Add
Good
2
job.
names to the list, IJ and Rosie.
Yeah.
So
I'm
siblings
busy.
can,
I'm kidding.
siblings can, you know, if you're not sitting there Xing off everyone and everything and every detail and every experience and every issue you have, yeah, siblings could be a great support for their siblings and say, listen, it doesn't matter all those things. Those don't matter. How did you feel with her? You want to see her again? Great, go out again. We're supporting you. Just keep an ear out for like how your heart feels. Make sure you're in a good place. We're here for you. That's where siblings should be. That's where parents should be. If you're anywhere else, then you're in the way.
In the way. I like that. Yeah, you're in the way. And I'm telling all our ladies here and maybe even some of the guys if they got to hear. I totally agree with that. I see it. I've been seeing it. I you're at a certain age and you just think, well, Prince Charming is the next one and it's the next one. And then before you know it, you're at an age where you never think you'd be and you're still single. Why do that to yourself? You have to get out of that mindset of thinking, oh, it's just all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. Like this one can't be for me. Like really, and I like to say that a lot of older singles kind of understand that they're breaking free of the I'm special, but at a certain point it might be too late. So let's get this done a lot younger than what is conventional today.
But let's not like completely negate I am special, because then you have no
are
self-worth.
Special. No one's saying you're not.
Thank
like
you,
I
No, but there is a healthy dose of thinking that you're special.
I think there's a nuance here. Everyone, you're special. You're awesome, right? You're not more special than somebody else in the dating world. There's no hierarchy of specialness in the dating world.
Respect your specialness and don't negate it. Meaning, okay, someone said yes to me and he's just a guy.
No. No, really own yourself, but don't be like, I could do better than that. I'm like, I'm the shit.
I know they all do that. I'm the shid.
I also think like we all have these, like you were saying, like my Prince Charming, he's like right around the bend. I know he's next, right?
Yeah.
When we construct these ideas of who we're going to end up with, nobody fits that because it's a fantasy. It's constructed.
It is very much. And by the way, Avery and I used to have this conversation. I think Rosie and I maybe have once. Like we're suffering from the Disney effect, where we grew up watching Disney movies and it all worked out happily ever after. You got Prince Charming, you got Princess, I don't know, I want to say a politically correct princess here. Cinderella,
Probably nothing's politically correct anymore. So
okay,
just a princess. A Snea's princess.
A princess. Who do I like? I like Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine's a good one. She's Muslim, right, or something like that. Okay, so Jasmine, Princess Jasmine. That hits like all the time.
Why don't you just do Ariel? She lives in the water. There's no religion.
I don't know because she's.
Oh, she needs to fire her dad.
Yeah, she's got dad. Oh, she'd be.
They all have dad.
She has no mom and a controlling dad.
Very
so
controlling.
does Jasmine.
Yes.
They all, well, welcome to Disney.
It sounds like Avery's.
But there
is no mother in any of them. 1 second, right?
Yeah,
there never is.
Yeah, it's the Oedipal complex.
Oh, I just realized that. Whoa.
They all have daddy issues.
Yeah, or they don't have parents at all. Wow. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what else is out there today. Okay, let's get to 1 second here. Let's see time-wise. Okay, 6 minutes. Okay. So here's something. Okay, I love this conversation. We have a few more bullet points just to get to. Some young guys and young girls, or old guys, old girls do is they rank spouses, right, and siblings themselves, and it kind of has that negative effect that we were talking about. Good to rank, bad to rank is. I think we touched up a little bit on that.
I think that's inevitable. Everybody judges everybody. So even if you don't put it out there, you know who you're closer to or you like better. I don't think that's avoidable.
And also good to use that when you're trying to develop the relationship you have right now when you're in Shidduch. Let's say I'm with a girl who I really like and I really do see some potential and we're seeing each other for a month or we're going out 5-6 weeks. And I'm like, you know what? I want you to meet, one of my siblings. Good idea, something to do. And obviously, it would be one of the siblings I'm more close with, so I would rank that. Okay to do, acceptable. You think you girls? I'm asking, are girls okay with that? 6 weeks in, 7 weeks in,
yeah,
to meet a sibling.
I want to meet your family also. I want to know where you come from. I want to know what you're like with them.
Girls like to do that. Do you think girls? What are your clients telling you?
Girls like to do that. I just think girls like to do that at different intervals. So like while one girl's totally cool at 5-6 dates, another girl's gonna be cool with that at 5-6 months.
Yeah.
So I just think you need to be like tuned in to who you're dating, what the lifespan of your dating would potentially be if it ended in marriage, and then go from there.
But that just correlates to how fast you're ready to get engaged. So the girl that's ready to meet them in 5-6 dates wants to get engaged at date 11-12 versus the girl who wants to only meet them in month 5 or 6, only wants to get engaged in a year from now.
Agree.
Okay.
Know your girl.
Yeah.
Know your girl. And I think, okay, good. So we have a few minutes left. Let's get to our lightning round. And I don't know if he actually won. Okay, yeah, that's a timer. Here's the sibling lightning round. Okay, helpful or hell no? Rating the helpfulness of siblings' input into your dating life. So,
We say hell no?
yeah, we can. We've said screw before. The podcast is developing.
We're getting more modern. It's PG-13
I
now.
say I'm not going to show this one to my Rebbe. Let's put it that way.
Let's get your Rebbe on here.
He's on tour anytime. I'll tell you. I'll tell you you can find.
Bring him on.
No, I think that's it. Constructive coping, dating, moping. Okay, no, you know what? He sent me some stuff, but that's it. Okay, so we're gonna get to our closing then. Okay, yeah, because we have 3-4 minutes left. Okay, anything else you wanted to say?
I'm just reading your list. Hold on.
I asked the lasters to send the lightning round. They failed to do so.
Oh my god. We're done with them
You
too.
just, you don't pay someone and then they don't give in the work.
People are getting paid to do that?
I said I don't pay them.
Oh, okay. Just
Maybe
keeping
they
track.
should get paid.
Just
They
keeping
probably should.
track.
Okay, anyway. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, episode 39, siblings effect on dating. We had some cool things to say. Hopefully it was very helpful. But do you know we just had 35 minutes of recording? Do you even...
No.
35 minutes just
It
went
goes
by
by
like
really
that.
fast.
I
Yeah.
know. I forgot to mention that like in the introduction. 35 minutes. It's almost 40 already. Okay, Ahuva, where can they follow you, our audience?
Oh, I'm at Holy Shid on Instagram, and there's 2 underscores between Holy and Shid. So Holy__Shid.
And we'll post all your information. We'll post you guys on our Instagram also, and our website. Should we post? Who even uses a website anymore? We have that also. 844 Shidduchim coming up soon in a few weeks. We're gonna get a WhatsApp number. And as I end off, happy face, smiley face, silly face. This is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast.